And now we are starting. Hi, guys. Okay. There we are. So, I did want to show you a couple of things. First, you see the big announcement here that June 24th, which is today, through July 17th is their 5th anniversary celebration for Secret World Legends. That's a year old. In fact, 2022 was the 5th anniversary. So I'm going to go out on a limb and say that this message has been here a year. The patron benefits. I can't get a list up here. Okay. Here's the login reward, though. We're going to get Purified Talisman Distillate. Why can't I open it? I should be able to open it.
Now you are a sight for sore eyes.
So, another day. So it's not 45-hour cooldown. It's a 70, 69, 68-hour cooldown for daily quests. And I'm pretty sure that is a 0-length cooldown, or 1-day cooldown, I mean, for subscribers and the like. And well, let me open that. Maybe there's a level requirement to open it? I don't know. Perhaps a level requirement, perhaps something else. Let's see, I need to reach level 12, which we are working on. Hey there! Indeed, I am both man and magnifying. Over time, I've magnified myself a lot. In fact, I might say too much. I would be better off if I'd magnified myself less. Day so far is going absolutely fine. Nothing bad, no bad problems, no actual problems of any kind. Quiet, for the most part, though. Let's go back into the church. You know, he's got another quest for us. Or two. Nice. I had like 10 days in London. Maybe 20 years ago? No. Maybe 35 or 40 years ago? I loved my time in London. Let's see, I had to be about 25 or 27, so yeah, 35 years ago, something like that. I loved my time in London. I really liked London. Now, part of it is I'm a history geek. You know, so going to the Imperial War Museum and, more importantly, the British Museum. Incredible. I spent 2 full days at the British Museum and it wasn't enough. I'm a history nerd, so there's that. Dust to dust. Henry Hawthorne alludes cryptically to a part of Kingsmith's past rising to haunt them yet again. Someone is digging where they shouldn't, and they have to be stopped.
Kingsmith is not a town without its blight.
I really enjoyed
its fallow seasons.
The Tower of London.
In times past, these
touristy,
lands have
yeah,
borne
but as a
bad
history
fruit.
nerd, again, just great.
The demons are plucking forgotten apples that should have been left to rot on the boughs of Kingsmith's tree, planted in unsanctified soil. By apples, I mean bodies. The tree represents, graves.
I've never done
and the
Scotland.
unsanctified soil means,
A lot
well,
of things in Scotland I would like to
unsanctified
do.
soil.
Many of them
Unmarked graves.
involving Scotch.
Mass graves. They operated with rationale, our illuminated ancestors. I'm sure of it. I mean, who am I to question
Memory
these
serves,
men
there's a
of
really
action?
nice part
Those
of
men of
Speyside
God.
where there are like
Even
a
if
half
they
a
did
dozen
stumble in their faith,
quality
well, that can happen
distilleries
to
within
all of
crawling
us.
distance of each other.
We forget to say grace. We lie. We cheat. We fornicate.
Every chance
We
we
do
get.
worse. We have more immediate concerns than being ministers of past sins. What they're digging up is something that should remain buried, hidden from inquisitive eyes and wagging tongues. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust.
Remember to spend your skill points. Thank you for reminding me, because I have some skill points to spend. Active abilities, I have 10 points. Flourish is going to cost 10. That allows me to spin my pistols and ready myself for action. Cleanse myself of 1 detrimental effect. Recover 4 pistol energy. Oh, I actually like haggis. I have a friend who was had a friend who's Scottish, who is Scottish, and he always had throw a Burns night, and he would drive like an hour and a half back and forth to one of the more rural locations in California, where he could get a made haggis, a fresh haggis, to boil up for Burns night. With nips and tatties, perfectly nice. Of course, let's face it, turnips, potatoes, gravy, on most anything is going to taste fine. It ends up a taste for anyone who's never had haggis. First of all, doesn't know what haggis is. You take some of the innards that you don't prepare in other ways of a sheep, and you chop them up and mix them with oatmeal, and you sew them in the stomach and then boil the stomach. And it sounds vile, but it comes out tasting like a hash, like a slightly gamey hash in my experience. Interesting. Haggis inside chicken. I could see that. Basically getting the chicken jus. Yeah. But it also must be pointed out that haggis sounds like it's based on a dare. Consume 5 pistol energy. Send a wave of volatile energy through the ground towards your targets. Energy detonates upon arrival, dealing 96 physical to the target and to nearby enemies. How much do I get out of my controlled shooting? 72. Charged blast. I don't know if I've ever used charged blast before. Let's try it. No, so I've had chicken 3 or 4. Or chicken. I've had chicken 3 or 4 times this week. I've had haggis, however, 3 or 4 times. They'd rather be Scottish than right. In my experience. My friend was, I haven't seen him in years. He was, I think he was Glaswegian. But he had a very thick accent, and he stammered, and was basically, after years of being friends, I still couldn't understand him on the phone. If I could see him talking, it was fine. Yeah, if I could see his mouth, a little bit of lip-reading action, I had no problem. But on the phone, not a word. Well, that's not true. I could understand a couple of words, but not a sentence. Need to kill 5 charred remains and witch trial victims, so that's nice. That's a drow grave robber. I don't get any credit for shooting him. I save my bullets for things I'm supposed to be shooting. All in all, I'm envious of your upcoming trip, gotta say. Sounds freaking awesome. Let's see, if you're away for a while, and it sounds like you're going to be, the only thing you could conceivably miss on this channel is a week from yesterday. I have a annual personal holiday. I'll be celebrating that next Friday. As far as I know, it's free all the way. But as I noticed earlier, a couple of things. First, it's really, really in maintenance mode because the 5-year anniversary notice that you get on login is exactly a year old today. And they no longer are paying the fees to keep the game-oriented websites, the fake websites for like the town here. Kingsmith.com used to take you to a fake website for this town. Now, if you want to use the fake websites, you would have to go to the Wayback Machine, the Internet Archive. I won't be impressed until you go to the Orkneys. How many Americans have even ever heard of the Orkneys? And I'll be frank, the only reason I know is there was a character in a book described as an Orkney. And I had no idea what that was, so I looked it up. I want to get the lore. Doodaloo. Alright, next is up here. Fat Body! I saw that you were playing Diablo 4 earlier, Fat Body. You enjoying D4? I assume so, since you're playing it. And I would like to know what class. Oh, there's a Wendigo here. Didn't see a Wendigo. Oops. I myself am playing all 5 classes because, of course, I am. I have seen some. I've had some crashes and some hangs. Their reliability is not great for D4. I need to kill Ridge, Forgotten, and Watchman. Let's see, my main, so to speak, is my Sorcerer, who's level 59 now. Hit 59 last night, I think. I have level 40 Druid and Necro. Got my Rogue up to 23, I think. And then my Warrior's like 17, something like that. You know me with alts. If I have a character slot, not for long. I am running a Sever Necro. It's pretty good. Alright, gun. 2 down. Basically, though, any MMO I ever end up playing, I am just a complete and utter alt-whore. One of the long list of reasons why I'm not a huge fan of Final Fantasy XIV. You can have one character learn everything. I don't want to. But you can have... Why would you want? I want more. Which build are you using? I started trying to use Penetrating Shot, and it stunk. It was awful. It was excruciating. So I decided I'd try one of the others. I tried Flurry, and Flurry's a lot more fun. It seems to work better, but more importantly for me, it's more fun. That's 1 out of 5 suffocated miners. And technically, I think it's a rogue. I've been saying thief too, but I think it's a rogue. Ah, I see what you did there. Please note, Twitch, that of course was a joke. We're joking here. We would never hurt anyone, regardless of their age. Except, of course, if they were virtual. We virtually kill them all the time. And I mean all the time. They that go down into the pit cannot hope for thy truth. Isaiah 38:18. All of Kingsmouth's a pit. These awakened remains, the witches, the miners, the cultists, who buried each other living and dead, are evidence of Kingsmouth's history of fervor and violence. Not all were evil. The witches merely housewives, the miners slaves to a paycheck, the cultists weak-willed wanderers. What unites them all is Kingsmouth's particular breed of restlessness, one that is being dug up and wielded by the Draug. The question is, to what purpose? We're going to feed that to our pistols. We've got another Wendigo. Another wandering Wendigo. Oh, it's on a collision course with me, so it needs to be on a collision course with my bullets. It's Zed Flamer Johnson. There's a quest to kill a bunch of named mobs. He's one of them. I don't have the quest yet, but there's a quest starter here, and I've got to level up to level 12 before we can continue the story any further. The Coming Dawn. A Kingsmouth townie must have had strong feelings about the Morning Light project for this to end up down here. Flushed brochure. Come see us at Langmore Trail. What makes us human? Spirituality. Humans have the unique ability to change from within, to be better, to be happier, to reach the next level of existence. What is the next level of existence? Humanity is chained to old prejudices, old fears, old institutions. The next level of existence is a revolution of how to be happy, how to be beautiful, how to bask in the morning light. What is the morning light? It is the answer. It is the first light of a new dawn. It shows us how to change the world and reach for the sun. How bright is your future? It's up to you. I was reading that. Fortunately, I had something in front of me, so I had to escape because I couldn't read the rest of it. So we'll jog over to the Morning Light camp. I've always been a night person. That didn't change until essentially I retired and started streaming. I now actually, my day is defined by streaming.
What's that?
I want to start streaming sort of prime time in the East Coast US. So that's 5 p.m. my time, so I eat dinner at 4, which means I eat breakfast and lunch, basically one meal, at about 10. So that means I'm getting up at 8 or 9. So I'm going to bed at midnight-ish. Most of my life, most of my adult life, I would stay up till 4 in the morning. Definitely never been a morning person. I loved working swing shift. Wake up, shower, get to work at 1 or 2 in the afternoon. Yeah, it definitely takes work. Try the working back method. Figure out what you need to do at what time and switch your schedule over time to be able to adjust. It's about the only thing that worked for me. I mean, when I had to do it for work, when I had to change my schedule to get to work by 9, that was brutal. That was just brutal. Recommended level 12. A courier must make a speedy delivery of an important package, but many dangers lurk outside the safety of the camp. Well, I'm level 11. I'm sure I can do it. Talk to me.
Bring this to the rendezvous point and get the hell back to Dodge. Don't stop for red lights, don't stop for a smoke, don't stop for a piss. Comprende, amigo? Wait! What the fuck? Wait! We're not done, amigo! Listen, don't fuck this up. Focus. Leave this circle, and you gotta watch your back. Plenty of creepy crawlers out there, no voodoo to keep you safe. But this is what you signed up for, right? There's more to the morning light than clean living, handing out flyers on the subway and trying to get vertical with Miss Dreadlocks from orientation week. We're harbingers of change, dude. We're prophets of mutation. We're disciples of doom. But change won't happen unless we up and act.
Yeah, it's okay.
Sure, Rome wasn't built in a single day,
not great.
But it sure as hell wasn't built by deadbeat procrastinators lazing around on their asses, smoking
And
weed.
it has some glitches. For instance, I could change my
get it
facial hair,
done.
but I couldn't change
Bees
the
on
color.
me
The only way to change the
24/7,
color was to
That's how
change
this
the
thing
facial
works.
hair.
Shit rolls downhill.
Mind you, you could control the individual
Boss
color
has
of
made
your
it pretty
eyebrows
clear
and
this
your
is
hair,
important,
but
and it's
not your
gotta be
facial hair.
taken care of now.
don't remember
not
that being
later.
that way.
Not when you feel like it. Tut fucking sweet. Comprende? Everybody's gotta pull their fucking weight, dude.
And plenty of
Anybody
cosmetics
else
and the
is just
like.
dead weight. What's up?
I'm trying to figure out. I can't remember how to unlatch the camera so I could show you. Yeah, so it has customization, just not as much of it as you probably want.
Visual tracking initiated. Visual tracking initiated.
Where the hell are you? Australia? Nothing good comes when a spider rolls down the hill. I followed the blood trail to the Sanguine Wendigo. I am chasing the Sanguine Wendigo. bear trap. Oh, zombies waiting for me. Very tricky, very tricky. Yet another reason I wish I had a dog. I'm too lazy to take appropriate care of one, though. But at least I acknowledge my weakness. I mean, I'm not afraid of spiders, but I don't like it. The thing I don't like about them is they always seem to catch me by surprise. You know, like you go into the bathroom in the middle of the night. So in my case, that can be anywhere from twice to 6 times a night. You turn on the bathroom light and there's a spider next to the light and you have to give out a little scream. And,
That's awesome, man. Jesus Christ, I figured I was done for. Oh, man.
And
Next.
then you squish it out of pure, unadulterated anger. Yep, that kind of thing. The surprise. One may have been tempted to peek inside the Morning Light package, but clearly you are seeing the long game. I dare say I'm rubbing off on you. We shall learn more about Morning Light by infiltrating them and by ripping open their mail. That sort of tactic attracts unwelcome attention. We're not sure of their angle yet, but spiritual goodwill isn't it. We have nothing incriminating on their savior, Philip Marquard, but this local leader, Che, has a long list of infractions: theft, assault, smuggling. However, our real interest is in the one they call B. I've been bitten twice by black widows in my life. Once when I was an infant. I do not remember. My understanding was that I got bit in the butt, so I probably like rolled over it in my sleep or something. And once when I was an adult, at one point I was just doing my average stuff and I noticed my left arm was feeling a little bit, I don't know, enervated, weak. And then I noticed a little sort of bullseye mark right about here above my heart with 2 little dots in the middle. And I went and checked in my bed and we found a squished black widow in my bed at about chest level. So that one I had definitely rolled over on in my sleep. You do realize that nature wants to fuck you up, and you might want to not be involved in that. Just, you know, putting that out there that maybe avoiding nature, living in a clean room environment. No. Oh, God, no. My assumption is I squished it and it didn't get much juice into me. Basically, nobody dies from black widow bites in the United States. I don't think. I don't even know the details of when I was an infant, other than I was told that that was the case. So. Badge of honor. Near the abandoned Orochi van, there are signs of a struggle and a trail of blood leads down across the water. Something bad happened here, and only the trail will give answers.
Visual tracking initiated.
Well, I'll take it, but let's head back. Let's see, we got missions back here. Yeah, we'll head back to the animal well outside the church. Outside of a zoo, I've never even seen a porcupine. You've got me on that one. I mean, we used to get deer in the backyard. Our cabin, we had a cabin in Northern California. And, well, occasionally you'd get a scorpion there. Well, yes, I mean, there are a lot of wild animals there. What was taking you to Africa? South Africa or Africa in general? Was that business? Pleasure? Oh, yeah, geese are some of nature's biggest assholes. Absolutely. Ah! That's got to be a very interesting place. A severed hand. A decaying human hand lies in the box near Mr. Freezy van. Eric and Mindy. Bound by Love. 1874. Alright, we have to find the right grave. And the thing is, every wrong grave we check, I believe, raises somebody from the dead. My world traveling consists of the trip to London and 2 trips to Tokyo. Maybe Africa's trying to tell you something. Search for Eric and Mindy's grave. I don't think this is it, but we'll try. Samantha Henderson, beloved daughter, how beautiful life was to her. Well, London I wasn't going to miss. Like I said, history geek. And none of the rest of my coworkers wanted to go to Tokyo. I did. Eric and Mindy. Return the severed hand to its grave. I'm a bit of an actual weeaboo as opposed to people who call themselves weeaboos because they watch anime. I liked Tokyo a great deal. So if I kill this guy, he drops a bag of goodies for me. Like I said, I'm a history geek, so of course I love London. And I'm also a history geek for Japanese history. Specifically. You know, so I went to Sengakuji Temple, where the 47 loyal Ronin are buried. Went to a katana store to browse, okay? Actual weed stuff, not anime. I have not read Shogun, but I did read Eiji Yoshikawa's historical biography of Miyamoto Musashi. See? I read the Book of Five Rings, the Nogoro no Sho by Musashi. Understood some of it. See? That's a real weeb. Not, I watched a bunch of anime weeb. Yoshikawa's book was made into the samurai trilogy starring Toshiro Mifune. Generally considered to be the best series of samurai movies ever made. I've watched 3 anime. I watched Akira. I think it's a masterpiece. I watched Ghost in the Shell. I liked that a great deal. I watched Princess Mononoke. I admired the artistry of it, but didn't like the movie as a whole. Ah, yeah, another amulet. Still won't let me open that. I'm guessing it must be a level requirement, but I don't know. Your field report has been received. It is a 2-pip assault rifle. Well, I may hold on to that because that's a 2-pipper. It's just that there's more to Japanese culture than anime and manga. Which a lot of the self-proclaimed weebs know nothing about. What do we got? We got something back here. Oh no, that's him. Well. That was nice. The two of them were sharing a corpse. Very, very thoughtful. Nice to see, you know? Kingsmith War Memorial. Kingsmith, like so many other small towns across the country, lost soldiers in the Second World War. Do you mind? I am reading this. In the Second World War, a quick glance at the nearby graves reveals that some veterans have risen as walking dead, honor them by putting them back in their graves as soon as possible. I have to kill... this is the one I was talking about where named mobs need, well, I don't want to say killing. Re-killing? They deserve peace. Let's go. Let's give them peace. Excuse me, guys. I need you guys to have a quick lay down. Really, you look like you could use a nap. Napoleonic history was my particular interest, as you might be able to tell by the bust and portrait of young Napoleon there. I am not a Napoleonophile who is unaware of his unpleasant side, however. Oh yes, I am very, very familiar. I have a large number of books. I have not read the Sharp stuff, and I know that I should. I know I would enjoy it. For instance, up on my shelf right there, I have the 4 hardbound volume first English translation from like 1870, I think. 4-volume book by Napoleon's his private secretary, Boyan. In my bedroom, as a gift, I received a 4-panel map of Europe that, with the borders drawn and printed in 1815 after the Council of Venice? Holy crap, my brain. I'm may be getting confused because there's a Council of Venice here in game. Yeah, I'm serious about this stuff. It wasn't Venice. Vienna? Council of Vienna, I think. There's a something of Venice in game, and that's what's confusing me. Oh, yeah. It's Cannonball Bill. For a while, I was a history major, actually. With Sean Bean. When I was first at university, as they would say. I hadn't chosen a major, so I was just taking whatever classes I found interesting. And after 2 years, I received an official notice, welcome to the history major. And my response was, what? It turns out, after 2 years, you were required to have declared a major, and if you don't, they would stick you in the major that you had taken the most classes in. And I'd taken more history classes than anything else, than any other single discipline. And so I was a history major for a couple of quarters and changed universities and got my education in computer science. Because I didn't want to teach history, which is mostly what you could do with history. Well, I didn't have too much time in the classics. I loved Dante's Inferno. I read Homer. The Aeneid. That's most of it, I think. I am something of a polymath. I have spent time and took classes in a wide variety of subjects. That wasn't Terry O'Reilly, the Irish tank? Well, that's not him. He must be down here. I read a great deal of medieval history as well. American Civil War was always a tough one for me. I never found it all that interesting, which is weird as an American. But then I never found most American history all that interesting. Again, maybe because as an American, it just seems less inherently interesting than the history of a different place. I mean, certainly I've read a number of books on the American Civil War. Played a number of board games on the American Civil War. I also, many years ago, was a real fan of board wargaming. Whoops. There's Terry O'Reilly, the Irish tank. Just generally, the breadth of European history always held a great deal more interest to me than American history. So much of American history seemed somewhat parochial by comparison. Field report's been received. We're getting close to level 12, at which point we can continue the storyline. If I had a hammer, I'd feed it to my pistol. Enormous trolls, to be fair. Really huge. It's the potatoes. I grabbed that. Why is that still showing up on the map? They are one of nature's great wonders. They are such a infinitely usable food substance. His next quest is locked, either level or storyline locked. That's Danny Dufresne. We've got his quests. Trapped Survivor. So we want to head basically south. Let's find him and rescue him. See, if I had to go for my favorite food, I'd probably go with something like lamb shanks. I've never had bad lamb shanks. Braised lamb shanks. Incredible. Of course, you also can't go wrong. What is the old saying about pizzas like sex? Even when it's bad, it's good. Oh, that's just not fair. Unless you're bringing me back some too, in which case, party hungry. Alright, we'll help the trapped survivor. This survivor was lucky enough to be spared from the fog by blundering into a hunter's trap. He'll need help to make it back to Kingsmouth. I'm gonna get you out of that hunter's trap, Gimpy.
Please help me. Don't leave me here.
Come on, Gimpy.
Thrown together by fate, and I'm the comic relief. Great.
Come on, Gimpy. Come on, Sir Gimps-a-lot. It's an escort quest.
This isn't the worst situation I've ever been in. Wait, no, it is.
Not only is it an escort quest, but he's got a limp. It's like the guys at Funcom said, hey, you know how we can make an escort quest worse? I've got a really good idea.
Good exercise. Did you become a superhero? Radioactive spider or genetic mutation?
Come on, Gimpy. Keep moving.
This is what I get for saying nothing ever happens around here.
I've killed 500 zombies. I'm a zombie murdering machine, yo. Oh, he's got a shotgun, so at least he's not entirely useless. He's only almost entirely useless.
Thanks for asking.
Okay, I've got 3 minutes left to get him to the sheriff's office. Think we can make it? I would tell him to hop to it, but I'm not very good at jumping on one foot, so I can't imagine he is. Escort quests.
Worst situation I've ever been in. Wait, no, it is.
And the game wouldn't let me shoot her. Kept focusing on him.
I think our odds are pretty good. Better than average. 50-50?
Come on, Gimpy.
There's still hope, right?
Where there's life, there's hope. I've been assured.
I think our odds are pretty good. Better than average. 50-50? There's still hope, right?
Come on, you blithering idiot.
Wait a minute. I thought I was following you.
When is this considered done? Come on. He's inside the perimeter. Some quests are just not worth doing. Come on, injured man. This is fine work, just fine. The survivors of Kingsmouth are fortunate to spend their final days in your company. I mean it. Competence is a rarity these days. I do wish we could do more to alleviate the darkness and dying, but remember what I said. We cannot redeem on a case-by-case basis. It's all or nothing. And we have our sights set firmly on the salvation of all. That means the occasional lost soul, or small island, will inevitably get ripped down into the cracks. This is an important point, and I shall be repeating it. It's all heart. Upgrade. Amulet. And it's now higher level than our waste talisman. What a waste. I am a comedian. No, seriously, I'm a comedian. Sandy Moose Jansen. Oh, his quest is annoying. Let's go to the mutilated corpse. Getting close to level 12, at which point the storyline resumes. I mean, how can you go wrong with a mutilated corpse? I can personally say I have never ever gone wrong with a mutilated corpse. Mutilated corpse is right here, I think. Yeah. Hello, mutilated corpse. The wounds on the mutilated corpse, close to the woods, suggest mauling from something even more dangerous than zombies. Search for the predator. A trail of blood leads away. So we've got Traveler's Torment named mob here that'll give us a present.
Additional assignment received.
And we need to shoot wisps. Basically, we have an area quest to kill wisps. And Traveler's Torment. Named mob. Drops a present for us. yes, we're following the blood trail. I think it's a Wendigo. I need to defeat one more wisp. Well, we can get... Let's take care of that now. Alright. We got blood. We got blood. A voracious Wendigo. Follow the beast's blood trail. Following the Wendigo. Where to go? Where to go? Where did the Wendigo go? We have blood, blood. Got blood to here. Blood over there. Doodaloo. We are back here. Let's head back to what passes for home base. The sheriff's office. Sometimes you have to splurge. But I understand. I have been running light on the old calories for 3 months. I am now level 12. We can continue our adventures in the storyline. Upgrade. Upgrade. And an upgrade for the Chaos Talisman as well. Oh. I collected those in the wrong order. Don't do that. Well, a mouse is generally pretty tough, unless it, something gets sticky, and that could happen. A couple more players. Are these the players I saw yesterday? Slyvicki, maybe? I don't remember the other one. Cryptara, maybe. I'm not sure if those were the ones I saw yesterday or not. But we have hit level 12. I am going to take a sec to refill my coffee cup, and then we are back to following out the storyline. Going into the sewer. Is there ever a game that doesn't have spiders you fight and doesn't require you to go into the sewer? I'm not sure if the world actually has spiders. Hi there. I am returned. Okay. And we've got skill points. Let's see. Flourish skill. Charged blast. Is that one? It is. Beginner's luck. Let's head that way. I already have that one. And we'll unlock that one. And let's see. We've got when your chambers end on a matching set, you get energized, restoring 3.5% of your maximum health. High roller, your controlled shooting, rolls through enemies and becomes even stronger for each enemy it hits. Critical hits with dual shot are more potent. Direct paradoxical, let's go ahead and move beginner's luck. When I, on that trip to England that I mentioned a couple of times, one of the things I came to enjoy was the habit of, instead of going a la mode for like, you know, pie with ice cream on it, pie with just cream on it, so that you don't have the additional sweetness, you just have the nice creamy mouthfeel. And that was, I was there in December, and apple pies were in all the restaurants, and having just apple pie with cream, just so good. God, I'm making myself hungry. I follow the trail of blood. I'm pretty sure I had fish and chips. I was there with my brother and my mom, and my brother would never have been interested in a chip shop. He hates fish. Hates fish. I found out that I love pub grub. I tell you, a pint and some pub grub is fuel for a day. Do you want to enter the Kingsmouth sewer? Not really. I think I had fish and chips, but I can't swear to it. I have to follow the blood trail. Oh, we're looking at the wrong. We want that one. I have to find Joe Slater. I am from and in California, the San Francisco Bay Area, my whole life. Currently, I am Silicon Valley, San Jose. Illinois, I just went through the airport. Indiana, never been. Ohio, I believe I stepped into, literally. I was in West Virginia for a thing, and we were right in the tri-state area, so it was Kentucky, Ohio, and West Virginia come together. And so I stepped into Ohio, and that was literally the entire limit of my visit. Well, big city people tend to be a little bit more standoffish. That, I think, is pretty much true everywhere. That was the entire length and breadth of my exposure to Illinois, was the airport, the Chicago airport. And I've been in worse. I have definitely been in worse. The airport in New Jersey, where you can see New York from it. That was like a bus station, an airport-sized bus station. It was Just everything about it was gross. Yeah, never spent any time there. A friend of mine went to school there for a couple of years. Come on, come on. Come on, big boy. Make sure I get my ammo all up. All right, you made a big gesture. And here he comes. Missed me, missed me. Well, Wyoming is certainly supposed to be beautiful. My grandfather was in charge of something like 400,000 or 750,000 acres of forest in Wyoming. That would have been about 60 or 70 years ago. He was working for the forestry department. Exactly. Please don't tell anyone. Family secret, you know. Rooted. No, I'm not. Okay, we defeated him. And here's Joe Slater, who's going to tell us about all the lovely things that happened.
Quick access inventory updated.
Look on your face says even my good side is worse for wear. I've been trying not to think about changing. Like it could all be a bad dream I ain't woken up from. Nightmares. All nightmares. Since that storm blew us off course. Off the compass. Off the map. We didn't tell anyone about the shit we saw. About dead ships all caught up in red weed as far as you could see. About the things moving in the fog. In the water. About what we saw beneath it all. Deep into the abyss. Or what I found there. In that dungeon, darkness shone like a signal flare. Like something fallen down from heaven above, you understand? A blade made of pure light. A thing of terrible beauty. I could hear its siren song, just calling me. Last I remember was the Creed boys hollering as I took a hold of it. It took a hold of me. I wasn't strong enough, I know that now.
They told me it pushed back the fog and the waves while I was out
Except for the
cold.
accent, yeah.
Told me it saved us. It didn't save us. That thing brought the
This
fog
guy's a
back to
20-pack a day
Kingsman.
smoker.
I brought the fog back to Kingsman. And I still hear that silent song. I know you hear it too. You could find it. You could stop that awful noise. Put that burning brightness back where it belongs. In the deep, in the dark. I wonder what would happen if I never left that Red Sea. Maybe Joe Slater never did. And all this is just some pitch dark dreaming.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is, Joe. That's exactly what it is. You'll note, well, maybe you won't note, the hotbar is changing that I now have a little red icon with a musical note symbol on it. Or a siren. Cersei. Yeah, it's a really nicely constructed little tune, well voiced. There's a complaint form. I'll pick that up before I step into the door. Type of complaint? Hippies. Would you goddamn cops do your goddamn job and get those goddamn hippies off my land? It ain't a campground, and they've been up to some merry shit. I've tried making my case peaceful like, and they threaten me. Now when my dogs has gone missing, I swear, if you don't do something about it, I'm gonna take it in my own goddamn hands. Signed, Atkins. I can see that. Let's head into the maintenance tunnels. What's the worst that could happen? If you watch the stream much, you'll know that pretty much every time I say what's the worst that could happen, we get to find out. All right, we've got laser things, but one of them's shorting out, so we can fit through. And the thing is, it wasn't me. It was in character. All right, we've got another laser beam that we... I almost always fail to jump over things in this game because jumping mechanic is not very well implemented, so I expect I'm going to die. Like that. Perhaps I should stop? No, I didn't die. I got blowed up twice, but didn't dead twice. In fact, I'm feeling just fine now. Search for old Tom. Okay, well, oops, we've got more. Wait for the lasers to short circuit. We got notes, we got briefcase, we got weird symbols, we got a computer. got a map. Let me hide.
Finally silenced the incessant noise and moved it to a safer place.
So where...
Away from here. I'm not in a sharing mood, Cassandra, and
I crashed again. I crashed. That one's actually an interesting cinematic, too. Let me restart. So I crashed twice on session 1 at the beginning. And then went like an hour and a half without crashing. Session 2, I crashed about a half an hour in and then went the rest of the way without crashing. And now I've gone an hour and 17 minutes and now crashed. So occasionally we crash. Mostly it seems during cinematics. But that was an interesting one between those two characters, both of whom were very important in the storyline. It's not John Constantine there in the middle. So, they left. They got into a bit of a tiff. His name's Beaumont. He's B. So he's the guy in charge of Morning Light. Black Heart of the Island Illuminati Archives. Fucking tunnels must be an entrance, but where? Several entrances all lead to the archives. One basement secret, forgotten, inconspicuous, aerial view, scenic tour, and scenic flights. $49 per person. 555-1973. Next up, I have to reach character level 14. Oh, I'm almost up to 13 already. What did I have to... I had another quest. That's not it. What is the quests? J for journal, I think. Yes. So that one, The Coming Dawn, Trespassers. Show the image and then look for Tom. You goddamn hippies do your goddamn job. Okay, well, we have to get out. We have to get out! The hippies were sort of a late 60s, early 70s thing, so I would mostly past hippiness, although hippie fashion was still in vogue when I was in high school. And if there was a single place that hippies were big, was the Bay Area. San Francisco, in Haight-Ashbury, and also in Berkeley. I didn't hold any strong opinions other than the fashion was bad, and it was basically impossible to get jeans that weren't bell-bottoms. But certainly there was no shortage of hippies and the like around the Bay Area.
Hey, man.
Old Tom's corpse. But certainly they're an easy thing to make fun of. And there's always been sort of a community of...
Critical empowerment results.
there have always been hippies in the Bay Area. Ever since. Even if they've aged. Like me. Let's see. I don't want to do Che Garcia's quest just yet. Is there anything in here? My brain was telling me there was. Inspect. Morning light information sheet. Yes, I will embrace the light. Morning light information sheet. Let's see. Name, Walter Berry. Date of birth, 1911-75. That's not how we do dates in America. We do 11-19-75. We do month, day, not day, month. 16 Lovecraft Lane, apartment 2D. No email address. He's a gas attendant at Psych Oil. And are you open to a 1-week training course? Yeah. Are you open to participating in a commune? Maybe. Are you open to helping others find the light? Sure. Okay. What got you interested in morning light? I hate my job, man. I got kids and that's hard. They're like people I don't know a thing about. Everyone's a stranger, man. I want to know people. I want to love and be happy. I saw your brochure and I'm interested, I guess. I don't think he has a clue. Yeah, the hippies. Well-meaning, naive. Often very self-interested. A self-help camp in the middle of the apocalypse. How wonderfully American. Isn't that the truth? Since we're speaking of hippies. I wouldn't go... Well, the general 3 rules that historically have held for safety in a party is don't talk about sex, religion, or politics. I have joked about dirty hippies. The Morning Light is a New Age movement that has grown exponentially these past years. Their charismatic leader is Philip Marquard, a painfully dull man from what I hear. They make enlightenment sound so terribly easy. Life requires rolling up one's sleeves, I'm afraid. Of course, people don't want to hear that. Easier to just buy an overpriced DVD. Presto, happiness. Yeah, don't get yourself banned. That's for sure. That one gets fed that one. We're up to 17. I'll repeat this information. The basic items, they go up to level 20. At level 20, you have to then start leveling up a second item of the same type. When it gets up to level 20, you smoosh them together, and they become a blue quality item that has more stats than the previous one did at 20, of level 1. You level that up to 25, you level another one up to 25, you smoosh those two together, and they become a purple item of level 1. Badge of Honor. Follow the trail of blood. What other quests do we have up? Let's see. That's Moose. Another one with Madame Roger? I think so. Box of squid. Either way, we can go back to... let's see. There's 2 there. There it is. Let's go to there. Poof. Couple of things over here, I think. Am I right? Yeah, over here. We have to get to 14 before we can continue on with the story. We're almost at 13. We got a box of squid. Rotting squid fills these cartons, and the stench rips at the nostrils. Someone or something has a taste for putrid squid. Who amongst us doesn't enjoy a little putrid squid from time to time? And several boxes have been pulled off the truck and emptied. Follow the trail to find out what's snacking on the smelly squid.
Visual tracking initiated.
Follow that squid. Spoiler, it's Squidward. It's probably not actually Squidward. Inspect the box of squid. Alright, Squidly. Something big this way comes. Ah, it's a Blooduger Lord. Or a pulse wave, but not anymore. And another upgrade for the Chaos.
Critical empowerment results.
They didn't pay for that squid, I'll have you know. As far as we can tell. So I like to think I was just dealing with a gang of thieves. Well, we've got a piece of lore there, and the piece of lore obviously requires my attention. No, this island is a zombie apocalypse island. The game itself is more like an X-Files MMO. So in this island in particular is kind of dealing with Lovecraftian stuff and zombies. But as a whole, you've got, well, there's men in black and black helicopters not too far away. Can't remember. Is this inertial jumping or not? I think it is. Well, I've played through the game enough times that I know all the ins and outs, basically. I can't make that jump. My memory is that I always have trouble with this jump. And my memory, in this case, is entirely accurate. So, I don't need that. It's just lore, you know. It's fine. It's fine. A Book of Voodoo. A Book of Voodoo stands out at an abandoned garage sale. It contains helpful recipes and incantations for various situations. One of them is a powder that can disorient zombies and stop them in their tracks. Could come in handy. So the zombies are mostly only a this island thing. Or at least this part of the island thing. Potting mix? That's not it. That's the potting mix. And dry beach sand. Oh, how about the sandbox? Hasbo Jangles has resubscribed. Are you insane? I mean, thank you, obviously. 2 months. Thank you very, very much. If you subscribe for a third, you'll get a thank you very, very, very much. It gets really annoying after a while, so I'd stop at 2. Thank you very, very much for the follow. I really appreciate it. I follow. The sub. Follows, I like those. Subs, I like those. I'm easy. And cheap. Okay, reasonably priced. And there you were thinking, why, that ingrate bastard, he didn't even say thanks. You see, it wasn't my fault. Although, ingrate bastard, not necessarily inaccurate. But in this case, yeah, I didn't know. Thank you again. I do appreciate it. Find a large open fire. Like over here. I don't know if this is a large open fire, but it's an open fire.
Quick access inventory updated.
And we are now at level 11. Sorry, 13, right? Yeah, 14 I need to continue the storyline. Let's check our skill points, passives. Additional batch of 40 hit points. That seems pretty good. All right. And we have enough, I think, for active abilities as well. That's Ricochet. Your mastery of angles and trajectories allows you to ricochet your bullets from one target to another for 6 seconds. Let's check out Full House. Let's start opening these up. You eventually want to fill out the tree for your weapons to get access to the mastery skills. And then eventually you can fill out the trees for all of the weapons, including ones you're not using, to get the mastery skills. The mastery skills work across whatever you're using. So more of those you get, the better. Apply powder to a turned local. Oh, that didn't do it. Can only be used on a hostile target. Well, I tried, and they kept coming, and it didn't seem to actually do anything. Oh, there we go. Oh! It turned him into a much larger and unpleasant local. Note to self. It's an interesting recipe. Makes them big and angry. Ah, yes. I have heard about that hitting places where you get the Land of the Midnight Sun action going. It messes with people's sleep patterns, something fierce. Midway upon the journey of our life, I found myself within a dark forest, for the straightforward pathway had been lost. Dante. My sincerest apologies, but I am currently knee-deep in life's divine comedy. Yes, even I get called out of the office on occasion. If you're feeling astray, simply push ahead. I shall endeavor to read your report at my earliest convenience. It is fine work you've done, I have no doubt of it. Well, let's continue to, or start to upgrade our assault rifle, because assault rifle and pistol are both very good in my experience. Memory serves, assault rifle is, wait for it, largely a healing item. It's complicated. Box of flares and Poe Cave. Do we still have something else with Norma? We must. Let's head to Madame Roger. Catch. High velocity. Let's play high velocity catch. I have not played Albion. it's primarily a PvP game, my understanding is, and I am just not a big PvP player. My understanding is, for a primarily PvP game, it's supposed to be pretty good if that's where your interest lies. Cannot vouch for that personally. It also has the advantage or disadvantage, depending on your point of view, of being available on mobile. Historically, my understanding is that the best ever PvP experience was, and maybe still is, in Dark Age of Camelot.
I knew you would come.
The vision. Madame Roger has a vision of your future. Follow the vision.
It was always about deception. The crystal ball, the gypsy clothes, the fake accent. Cheap props to make the fortune cookies easier to swallow. My customers, they bought into it because they wanted to. If there's no free will, if it's all about fate, life is a whole lot simpler. We can just say, hey, it was meant to be, and get on with it. That's the key to fortune telling. That's why people fall for it. We're all prisoners of our search for a higher meaning. It's all about mutual deception. I never believed I was telling people anything they didn't already know. Until now. I have...
Well, of course.
Waking dreams.
She has no souls because she's
Visions.
a video game character.
I see auras. Auras. Yours, by the way, is bright enough to blind me. I see through the eyes of others. I can even see into the future, for real. The paths of fate, clear as day. It's almost like I've become who I've pretended to be all these years. Or maybe I'm just going crazy. I could be going crazy. I wouldn't blame myself if I was going, oh, great. Here we go again. I'm having another vision. They come and go like headaches. I can't really control them. Quick, before it passes. I see your twin paths. One leads to salvation, the other to defeat. I see black tendrils rising to embrace you.
No, green tendrils. I have green
Voices
tendrils.
whispering in your ear. Corruption from within and from without. Something rising from the bottomless deep to devour us all. To turn day into night. Sorry. I see something else. Our paths intertwine, converge, and at the end of it, Exodus. Inescapable, permanent, fated. On the tip of the pyramid, your path shall be revealed. That's as good as it's gonna get. Make of it what you will. Sometimes I get more visions, like the aftershocks of an earthquake. If that happens, I'll let you know. You won't even have to pay my usual fee. Let's call it a freebie, sweetie.
Find the location in Madame Roger's vision. The tip of the pyramid, she said. Spoiler! That's the clue. Note. Pyramid Point. All you gotta do is read the map. Like I said, I've played through this a time or two. Now, there's no shortage of creepy in the game, for sure. But then that's sort of what it's based on. Sort of the catchphrase was everything is true. sort of all of mythology is true. All of those weird, crazy beliefs that people have, they're all true. And that's the nature of the secret world. Speaking of which, I kickstarted a role-playing game version of The Secret World that should be coming out relatively soon. Yes, it's one of the things that they're doing to attempt to appear relevant. There's something over here for me to pick up too. Yeah, what is it? Box of flares. We'll come back for that. The people in charge of the Olympics are always trying to find something to make them seem relevant and hip. And they're always at least 4 to 8 years behind. So 1 to 2 Olympics behind. The Kickstarter was called The Secret World. They're getting ready to ship, though. I myself ordered just the PDF, so the data version of the game, but there were, or are, or will be hardback rules books. That dude does not skip arm day. Just trying to get an ID on him. The Figer Jotun. Okay, yeah, I already killed him once, so I got the loot for killing him once. And that was a Figer Brood Witch. We're heading out here to the tip of Pyramid Point. Yeah, the setting is great.
Boughs of the fairy forest, the flickering lights of the foolish.
Thank you very much, Bojangles.
Come, they beckon.
Who has Bojangles? Sleep well. I hope the trip goes great. It's always stressful, any kind of trip like that, but hopefully it comes out fucking great. Where I'm off to next? Shadows, long shadows from old boughs of the fairy forest. That's got to be where we had the wisps. I've felt. I not only do I agree with you that the setting for the game is great. But I felt that... Do we have empty space for another side quest? Oh, we do. That it would make a great TV show. In the vein of the X-Files. Grab the box of flares. I don't remember what we have to do with them. I think we have to... Next to the corpse lies a note and a box of flares. Note next to the body says, B wants it done, so you do. We are the morning light. We don't ask stupid fucking questions, and we obey our leaders. It also has coordinates of places around the island, spots to shoot up flares. Go to the marked spots and shoot up flares and see what happens. I will do that. Ignite the first signal flare. Second flare. Yeah, it would definitely be better episodically with an overall arc, I think. That was one of the things that was sort of very hit or miss with X-Files. Was the nature, sometimes it was Monster of the Week, and sometimes it was story arc. And they never really had a very good integration of that, because I don't think that was their intent from the start, to have an overriding story arc. Fourth signal flare. Defeat the angered warmonger. See, this is another guy. He definitely is not skipping arm day. Yeah, the good ones are incredible. The good X-File episodes are just amazing. Like the one episode that's only been shown once. If you're familiar with that episode, the episode called Home. It was so disturbing they only showed it once. When it was bad, it was pretty bad. When it was good, it was terrific. You had funny episodes like Jose Chung's From Outer Space. You had the episode with, I can't remember his name. Peter Boyle? Yeah, I think it was Peter Boyle. As the guy who can see the future. He's the one who comments about autoerotic asphyxia being an embarrassing way to die to Agent Mulder. There have been more players around in the last 2 or 3 nights than I've seen in the game in years. Now, granted, I don't play all the time, obviously. Yeah, I don't play any game all the time. I log into Guild Wars 2 every day, though. That pays for itself. One of the things I wish they had done from the start of the show is that you never knew what it was until at least partway through the show, as to whether it was something weird or there was just, it seemed like something weird, but turned out to be a normal case. I really wish they had had more of it just turns out to be normal stuff. A little bit of the Scooby-Doo, you know, I'd have gotten away with it if it wasn't for you two FBI agents. So that it wasn't always the weird answer. Yeah, I didn't know the exact number they'd set the playfield max at. I knew it wasn't many, but for instance, last night I saw at least 5 other people running around here in Kingsmouth. And I was, pleasantly surprised. I have no idea as to what kind of player base it has. I did notice a couple of things. The login screen is from a year ago because it's celebrating the 5th year anniversary starting June 24th. But the game was released in 2017. Secret World Legends was in 2017. So that's a year old. And they stopped paying for paying the DNS and server entries for the old game-based fake web servers like Orochi.com and Kingsmouth.com. Those are no longer the old content that they used to be in the game. Kingsmouth.com, I think, is a web seller or is a gambling site. Kingsmouth.com, I think, is a gambling site, and Orochi.com is held by a web seller. Well, we have gotten about a quarter of the way to level 14, where we can continue the storyline. So I think I will call it here for the evening. This seems like a decent break point. Oh, let me stretch out. Right. Yeah, Dune Awakening. Funcom always, their stuff is 20% brilliant, 40% jank, and 40% fine. I hope that for Dune, they can at least get that to say 40% brilliant, 40% fine, and only 20% jank. That would be nice. But, I mean, I played Anarchy Online. I played Age of Conan. I played very little of Conan Exiles. So, I mean, they've always had capable people working there and have produced some really excellent stuff. I mean, I love the Secret World, the setting and everything. The questing is great. The storyline is terrific. The combat, jank. There's the jank. Well, if you've got their ear, let them know that they should change the login splash screen, because that kind of thing really makes you look bad. There it is. 5th anniversary, June 24th through July 17th. And that was last year. Yeah, I am on a free-to-play account here because I'm trying to find out about the free-to-play experience. Maybe you know. I got this from as a login reward, and I can't open it up. Oh, you don't open it up. That's why, you dumbass. You do that with it. Never mind. I haven't played for a while. I played head trauma? Duh. Okay, that answers that. I suddenly remember. So far, the free-to-play... Yeah, thank you. There was nothing to see here. Move along. The free-to-play experience so far has been fine. No real difference from the you bought the game experience, except you have 1 character slot. So far, that's... and, you don't get the subscriber bonuses if you're subscribing. Given the amount of time I've played since they changed over to free-to-play, it does make me wish that I had gone with the lifetime sub at launch, even though I knew the game wasn't going to be a success. I've dropped enough time into the game, it would have been worth it for me to get the lifetime sub at launch, but I didn't. But I am going to call it here. So far, the free-to-play experience is very good. I've had a couple of crashes. 2 crashes the first day, 1 yesterday and 1 today. It has not been a significant problem. I should be back tomorrow for more of the same at approximately 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern. Right, yes, I always pick them up anyway. Yeah, they vendor for something like 500 if I remember correctly. Yeah, I don't think I've gotten any of those. I have not. Thank you. Thank you very much for hanging out. So tomorrow, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern, maybe a little earlier than that. Middle of the night in Europe. For more Secret World Legends. Monday, that's a follow. Big Mikey Ocho. I only have one spiel, and here it comes. Welcome to my humble little stream of misfunction, malfunction, dysfunction, and frequently complete and total unfunction. You are most welcome indeed, and thank you very, very much for the follow. Thank you. That always brightens my day. Monday, I will not be streaming as I am running a Call of Cthulhu tabletop role-playing game for some friends. Last week we got interrupted because a friend's work exploded and he was busy. So picking it up on Monday. And let's see, next Friday will be a personal celebration of mine that I do every year. I'll be enjoying adult leisure beverages and playing something different though. Maybe City Heroes. Anyway, I'll be back tomorrow. More Secret World Legends. Have a great Saturday night. Have a very nice Sunday as well. I insist. Back tomorrow. Hopefully you'll see me soon. Have a great night tonight. Take care and ciao for now. Good night, guys.